Alright everybody, so I am about to upgrade this already pretty hefty RO system. So what we've been running is we have a, sorry it's so dark in here, we have a sediment filter, carbon block, and then another carbon block, and then we have the RO membrane, and from there it goes down here, and we've got cation, anion, and mixed bed. So what happened recently was the anion ran out, as it always does. It gets burned up real fast, and we didn't catch it. And so we'll walk around here to the tank. So we didn't catch it. I was out of town. I was in Arizona. You know, my dad's not necessarily the best at checking up on all this stuff. I only get to stop by here like one day a week. So you can see we've got quite a bit of algae in the tank. Once this stuff started popping up, we knew something was up, and we realized that basically our anion was dumping in there, which, you know, phosphate is an anion, and so probably lots of phosphate getting dumped in the water through the auto top off system. Yeah, so we decided that we wanted to make our RO system so we didn't have to change the cartridges as frequently. So what we did was we bought 2 more cartridges, which we're about to get set up here, and another bracket, and these are both going to be anion. So what we're going to have over here is we're going to have the whole RO set up, and then it's going to go cation, then 3 anions, and then 1 mixed bed. At first we were just going to do like a huge anion cartridge, but they were so expensive. They're like $100, and then they had 1-inch ports on them, which we didn't want 1-inch ports. We wanted to keep everything quarter. So what we're going to do is we're going to have it go from cation to anion to anion to anion to mixed bed, and then when the first 2 anions get exhausted, we will take the third one, move it to the first one, and then we'll refill the two exhausted anions and put them at the end and let the cycle repeat. So really we'll only have to change our filters every time we get 2 exhausted anions, rather than when the anion here gets you know what, like 3/4 of the way exhausted is usually when people change that one. Well, we'll get more use out of our resin this way, because we won't have to throw away a 1/4 cartridge of good anion resin. So yeah, so I mean that's gonna work out good for us. We'll get more use out of our resin. This is how we store our resin. We buy it in bulk, and I vacuum seal it. I just started doing this recently. This cartridge here has been wrapped up for a good 3-4 months, and the stuff's still good. It's you know, you can tell it's still moist. It hasn't dried out, and it hasn't exhausted because it hasn't changed color. So that was my trial run. It was with stuff that I couldn't fit in a cartridge refill, and then once that was good, we bought the big bag. And stupid me, last time when I refilled that 1 anion cartridge that's in there now, I opened up the big bag. I forgot to use that. So today when we get this going, we're going to put this, use up this leftover anion, open this back up, take out the 2 cartridges worth that we need, then we're going to vacuum seal it back up, and then we're going to store it. And yeah, and then I'll shoot a better lit video of this when we're done. But that's kind of what we've been running for the last 1.5 years or so. For those who are wondering, we are in a well. There's our water softener. We do have the softened water come in. This is where we tee off of our cold water line just before the water heater, and have that feed our RO system. Our pressure isn't great here. Right now we're running about 38, 36. And normally when you change that sediment filter, it goes up to almost 50. But that's about as best as we can get out here. I'm not putting a booster pump on for that. You can see it's a nice humid day. Lots of condensation on the cold water lines. It's about 90 degrees and very humid here today. So yeah, let's. I'm gonna stop the video here and put this thing together, and then I'll show you it when we're done. All right, so here we are. I got the cartridges full of anion. Usually fill them about this full, leaving just barely some room for those sponges. And then I use a beer bottle to pack them down. So they're pretty tight in there. And then now I'll just go ahead and put these back on. So need both hands for that. So stopping here. Alright, so here she is. We have the 3 anions down on that rack there. We still gotta get a holder for the mixed bed. The cations up there. So we go through the RO system, then cation down through 3 anions, and then a mixed bed, and then through the wall into our barrel.